Hello students, myself Minakshi. What would be the three things you would have asked for if you met a genie? Well, if I talk about myself, I would have asked for a bucket full of ice cream and chocolate that would never get empty. So, in this chapter, we will listen to a story about Yusuf. Now, children, open your book, page number 21, chapter number 4, that is Yusuf and the Genie. I hope you all must have opened your book. Let us start with the chapter. Children, keep your finger in the book and read along with me. Yusuf lived in a large house which had a garden with many fruit trees. He would invite his friends to climb the trees and eat the mangoes, guavas, lychees, and bananas. Now, children, let us discuss this para. Yusuf, the little boy, lived in a large house which had many fruit trees. He would invite his friends to do adventurous things like to climb trees and to eat the mangoes, guavas, lychees, and bananas. Now, children, start reading with me. He and his sister, Huma, would often play hide and seek with their cousins and friends in the garden, stairs, and the many rooms in the house. Now, second para. While running around the house, Yusuf and Huma found a locked room on the second floor. They were curious. Huma said, "No other room in our house is locked." Now, children, let us discuss this para. He had a sister named Huma. They would love to play hide and seek with their cousins and friends in the garden, stairs, and many rooms in the house. While Yusuf and Huma were running around the house, they found a locked room on the second floor. They were very curious to know what was there inside. No other room in their house was locked, said Huma. So, children, let us start with this para. Yusuf looked through the keyhole. As you all can see in the picture, Yusuf is looking through the keyhole. He said, "This room has no windows. It's dark inside." So, children, let us discuss this para. While looking through the keyhole, Yusuf said the room has no windows. It's dark inside. As you all can see in the picture, the room is dark inside. So, children, let us start with this para. Huma had an idea. Yusuf, let's go to Dadi and ask for the key to this room. When they asked for the key, their grandmother refused. She said, "Stay away from that room. Go and play in the garden." Now, children, let us discuss the para. After listening to Yusuf, Huma said, "I have an idea. Let's go to Dadi and ask for the key of this room." When both of them went to grandmother, she refused. She said no and said them stay away from that room and go and play in the garden. So, children, start reading with me. After a few hours, Yusuf crept into his grandmother's room. She was sleeping. Huma was sleeping next to her. Yusuf gently picked up the bunch of keys from his grandmother's desk and went to the locked room. He unlocked the room and entered. It was empty. There were spiders' webs on the ceiling and there was dust everywhere. As you all can see in the picture, there is a empty room and in that empty room there are spider webs on the ceiling and there is dust everywhere. Then next, he saw a shiny thing in a corner of the room and picked it up. It was cold and heavy. He took it to his room. Now children, let us discuss the paras. After few hours, when he crept into his grandmother's room, he saw both were sleeping. The next, Yusuf gently picked up the bunch of keys and went to the locked room. As he got the keys, he unlocked the room and entered. And he found it was empty. There were spider webs on the ceiling and dust everywhere. Suddenly, his eyes caught a shiny thing in a corner of the room. He picked it up. As he picked it was cold and heavy, and he took it to his room. So children, start reading with me. Alone in his room, he began to clean the thing. It was an old teapot. Suddenly, with a loud bang and a bright flash, a genie swooshed out of it in a booming voice. The genie said, "Hello, I am the genie of this teapot." Yusuf was trembling. He was scared. He wished he had listened to Dadi. The genie smiled and said, "What is your name? Why did you call me? I was sleeping there. Do you need something?" So children, let us discuss this para. He was alone in his room cleaning the old teapot. Suddenly, with a loud bang and a bright flash, a genie swooshed out of the teapot and said, "Hello, I am the genie of this teapot." Yusuf was trembling and he was scared. He wished he would have listened to Dadi. Looking at Yusuf, Genie smiled and said, "What is your name? Why did you call me? I was sleeping in there. Do you need something?" asked Genie. So children, start reading with me. Yusuf said, I am Yusuf. I did not know you lived in this. Sorry, I woke you up." The genie said, "You are a polite little boy, Yusuf. I am happy with you. I will grant you 3 wishes. Ask." Yusuf was not scared anymore. He said, "May I have a plate and a bowl which will fill up with whatever I want to eat? Please, Genie." Now children, let us discuss this paras. Yusuf said, "I am Yusuf," and said sorry for waking up Genie. The genie said, "You are a polite little boy, Yusuf. I am happy with you. I will grant you 3 wishes." Now Yusuf was not scared anymore. He asked for his first wish. So children, start reading with me. An empty plate and a bowl appeared on Yusuf's bed. Yusuf clapped and danced about his room and thanked the genie over and over again. The genie laughed loudly. Then he said, "Make 2 more wishes, little one." Yusuf's father was a pilot. Yusuf wanted to fly like his father. He said, "Genie, please give me a flying carpet to take me wherever I want to go." So children, let us discuss the paras. As the Yusuf's first wish was fulfilled, he clapped and danced and thanked the genie. The genie laughed loudly and said, "Make two more wishes." As Yusuf's father was a pilot, he wanted to fly like his father. So he said, "Genie, please give me a flying carpet which will take me wherever I want to go." So children, start reading with me. Next moment, Yusuf saw a beautiful carpet on the floor. His eyes shone. He didn't thank the genie. He sat on the carpet. It was bigger than his bed. He imagined himself flying around the world. The genie said, "Yusuf, do you?" Now children, let us discuss the para. As Yusuf made second wish, a beautiful carpet appeared on the floor. His eyes shone looking at the carpet. He didn't thank Genie for fulfilling his second wish. He sat on the carpet and imagined himself flying around the world. Then the genie said, "Yusuf, do you?" So children, start reading with me. Before the genie could finish the sentence, Yusuf said, "Shut up! Let me think. I have only one wish left. You must have been sleeping all these years. You can stay awake for a while. Don't be lazy. Remember, I have the teapot now. You are my servant." Now next, the angry genie became bigger and bigger like a balloon about to burst. He roared. "You greedy little boy, you forgot to thank me and call me your servant. How dare you be rude to me? I am taking back all I have given. I will take you to live with me in the teapot. Live there as my servant for what you have done." Now children, let us discuss. Before the genie could finish, Yusuf said, "Let me think, as I have only one wish left. You can be awake for a while, as you have been sleeping for many years. Don't be lazy. Remember, I have the teapot now. You are my servant," said Yusuf. After listening to Yusuf, the genie became very angry. He roared and said, "You greedy little boy, you forgot to thank me and call me your servant? How dare you be rude to me? I am taking back all that I have given, and I will punish you for what you have done." So children, start reading with me. The genie's large hands reached out towards Yusuf. Yusuf screamed. He kept screaming till a gentle hand touched his forehead and he heard his parents saying, "Yusuf, wake up. Yusuf, it was a nightmare. Wake up, child." Now next. Yusuf opened his eyes and hugged his parents. Huma jumped on the bed and hugged him too. Yusuf was glad. He was safe. There was no genie. Yusuf became a very well-behaved boy. He learnt his lesson. Now children, let us discuss the paras. The genie's large hands reached out towards Yusuf. Yusuf screamed and kept screaming till a gentle hand touched his forehead and heard his parents saying, "Yusuf, wake up. Wake up, child. It was a nightmare." Next, as he opened his eyes, he realized it was a nightmare and hugged his parents. Huma also hugged him. Yusuf was glad that he was safe. Yusuf learnt a lesson and he became a very well behaved boy. So, children, what did you learn from the chapter? Remember, we should always respect our elders, listen to what they say, and we should always be happy with what we have. Thank you, children.